Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and those who are neither, wherever you are in the world. I'm Rambling Rusty Elm, and this is Rambling with Rusty. Last time on Rambling with Rusty, we helped out up on our tam to defend the island from an invasion of sea slode, and defeated Katora, the leader of the Abyssal Cabal, before returning to Somerset, where we started helping with an investigation at the keep of Katarn Keep. And we are currently in the middle of that investigation, tracking down a rogue mage. So without further ado, let's get back into it.
No sign of Raniel, but this is definitely the epicenter of the magic I felt. There's still power clinging to this Aldma altar. It must be the bridge she is using to travel to and from the realm of that thing. Theoretically, from what little I know about opening portals to Daedric realms, there's typically an object here, in Tamriel, that is attuned to the place in question. Not as it is. If this is a bridge, then Taraniel has barred and locked the gates. We need to undo her spell, then I should be, in my experience, most...
Let's see, we need to light these in the correct pattern. Yeah, that's what I thought.
That was dramatic. That's it! It reeks of that monster's realm. I'll hold it open. Go. Ugh, it feels like worms wriggling through my soul.
Again?
I can do
How
this.
did you reach this?
I can do this.
I won't let you. I'll feed your corpse to the insatiable. I'm all right. I'm all right. Somehow.
This way! Quickly! I can't hold this open for long.
Well, I've had my fill of this place. Let's excuse ourselves before any more dinner guests arrive.
I might fast for a month after this.
Okay.
Thanks for stopping that Daedra-loving loony from sucking out my soul. You took a big risk sticking your neck out for us. But what are recent acquaintances for, right? Guess I owe Lynn, too. Not going to live that down. We'll be fine. It's not the first time someone has tried to drain and devour my soul. Happens more often than you'd think, actually. Hazards of the job. As for Hai, I think he's secretly enjoying all this excitement. She was raving about her work not being done, and how she was going to use our desiccated husks to restore the insatiable. I sort of tuned it out at a certain point, but got the impression... Though, what now? Nope, forget I asked. Save it for Hai. He's way more interested in all this intrigue nonsense. I'll stick to gut-punching hungry monsters. Looks like someone got bitten by the hunting bug on this little adventure. Savor your victory, killer. Katarn Keep is safe again thanks to you. Judging by these results, I should rope random Now that the immediate danger's passed, I will want to get back to combing through the details of what transpired here. It'll be really boring. Like, really boring. But since you got us back on speaking terms, I'll help Lynn and Hai investigate. Hey, don't go rubbing my nose in it. It wasn't easy fighting off Daedra with Hai slumped over my shoulder. You'd think he'd make a better shield with that hard head of his. That mage got the drop on us while we were licking our wound. You'll want to talk to High about that, but I wouldn't get your hopes up. Well, Lynn and I grew up around here. We always had a knack for sticking our noses where they didn't belong, so the Divine Prosecution was a natural fit. He's our mentor. Was my mentor. Loves his work, and he's a good person, but he clings too tightly to protocol. He took the brunt of the abuse from our superiors when I was out of line. I thought... No, High and Lynn were always more than colleagues to me. We were friends. We'll stick by each other, but the Divine Prosecution has a long way to go before they take...
You broke more than a dozen statutes with your antics today. Regulations state that I should place you under arrest, but I'm thinking we haven't been following much procedure today anyway. Thank you for your assistance in this investigation. I should have, shouldn't I? She was once among the best members of the Divine Prosecution, but too cavalier for most, and far too interested in unconventional methods for our superiors. She believed the prosecution would be better served by employing methods devised outside of Somerset. Foreign ideas, foreign magic. She faced censure many times. Frustrated, Silery left the Order to strike... Won't let me off that easy, eh? Right. I didn't believe her because I didn't want to believe she was right. Because I still resented her selfishness in walking out on her duty. And on us. Nindefwe and I didn't agree with her, but we stuck by her. She was right. We are stubborn and stolid. If we continue to believe our way is the only way, we're going to be unprepared for the changes ahead. The Queen's decree will bury us. Convincing the Divine Prosecution of that? Closed, for now. Lindefwe bridged us here for our safety. I imagine Tyranniel did something similar to enter Caton Keep undetected. A dreadfully potent ability in the wrong hands, as we've seen. The books you found. Its purpose wasn't to open the portal, though its power does pose some concerns. It would be hearsay to destroy an Aldmer artifact, but I will recommend that those ruins be patrolled regularly from now on. You broke more than a dozen statues. Lindefwe informed me of your findings in the gorge and the ruins. You had something to add? How did you... Don't throw that name around so casually. Very few people know of their existence, and they take great pains to keep it that way. I did suspect as much after what transpired here. Do you know what they're after? I hate that I can tell you're telling the truth. I'm going to have to think my next move very carefully. I need to be certain of whom I can trust with this information. You should too. Damn it. I would have liked to have a very intimate conversation with the late Alldark. It's a good lead to follow. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. Any other revelations for me today? I hate that I can tell you're telling the truth. I'm going to have to think my next move very carefully. Well, that's technically within my jurisdiction. Friend, I don't know who you are, but you're clearly better informed than I. I hope you have a plan. Considering what you did here, that's actually reassuring. For my part, I'll keep hunting for what remains of the Court of Bedlam. They have to answer for what they've done. Assuming there's anything left. By all means. I'm not...
Alright, well... that wraps up that little side quest. And puts a bunch more information in our hands. Well, in their hands, I guess. Really?
Your prowess was befitting a knight. Well done. We're in this together. Another find for your pack. No guts, no glory.
Okay, let's go ahead and do this quest
Thank
here.
you for heeding my call, newcomer. I don't suppose your passage to Somerset brought you past Wasten Coraldale? My father, Kurteros, runs a boat in an angler fleet. They're long overdue, and while his stride tends to be a leisurely one, I've never seen the whole fleet gone for so long. I'm probably over-concerned. The weather's been fair and the wind's mild. Perhaps their fishing has been so fruitful they dare not waste their good fortune. But I'd feel better if I knew what to make of their delay. The fleet set off west. Wasten Coraldale is an island engulfed by coral reefs, but you can reach it safely in that sailboat. I'd go with you, but I'm afraid I don't share my father's comfort with open water.
Okay.
Stendarr protect us from harm.
What do you say to some celebratory sweets?
I'd say there wasn't really much to celebrate there.
together.
Need to head down here.
What? Never seen you before? Guess no one told you that this is my spot. Been my spot nearly a century. And it'll be my spot a century more, God's willing. So don't go getting any ideas. Plenty of space down the coast. So, off with you now. Ha! Fancy that. I had told Hiranessa for years those sea elves would mount an invasion from Wasten Coraldale. Figures they'd launch it while I was having a nap. Well, come along then. Best send them off before they hook all the best catches. Of course. Any Royal Marine of the Queen's Navy worth their salt would. Might have traded my saber for a fishing rod, but I've still got my sea legs, and I'm still as sharp as the day I mustered. The others I sail with are civilians, though. Aye. Even if they caught a glimpse of a sea elf cutter before it reached Wasten Coraldale, there's no chance a fishing boat would have outrun it. If anyone from the fleet's still alive out there, it's our duty to help them. Lest we split up. Unless my creaking knees give me away, I ought to be able to handle some scouting while you're searching for survivors. We'll rendezvous with the old lover's tree near the reef on the eastern shore. My friends will know the one.
Sacred ascendants, take me home. I thought you were a sea elf. One moment I was just dipping my toes in the shallows having a pleasant day. The next there's a murderous corsair or hungry reef viper around every corner. Which he's alive. At his age I'd have thought he'd be the first to fall prey to those sea elves. Should have given the stubborn old salt more credit. I'll make my way to him. Better than waiting.
No guts, no glory.
Let's see, how is that skill line going? Up to level 36. Let's look at these first. I should get this, finish getting these leveled up.
Stranger, don't anger the salamanders. You're sure we're talking about the same Kurtaros? The one I know is more likely to be mistaken for dead and sleep right through this whole mess.
You've got a keen eye for wealth, my friend. Stow your weapons, my friend. We've won.
I just remembered. Let's see. Bet I didn't, no. $13. 50-50. Need master arms eventually. And
all this crouching is damnation on my back. But I've seen everything I need to know what the enemy's up to. How fares the search? Any sign of Coraldale? Never do when it comes to these sea elves. They'll rob us of more than a few good souls before all is said and done here. They're digging in, placing ballistae along the shore. When the Royal Navy finally does mount an attack, they'll be taking fire from Maormer on both land and sea. It'll be a bloodbath. I'm not suggesting we repel the whole invasion, but I do know my way around a ballista. If we turn one toward their own ships and cause enough of a stir, we can draw on a friendly patrol and catch the sea elves out of there. I'll get into position and await your attack. Then we'll give those sea snakes a good spearing while these two make for your vessel. You do have a vessel, don't you? All right. You two go prepare the boat our friend brought. We'll provide a distraction. Trinamac's wrath be with us.
Focus your mind. Stay with me.
They're scattering like minnows! Keep on the offensive! They didn't call me their the scourge of the sea drakes for nothing! That'll do. Fall back and get to the boat.
That's the end of that tale.
There's another mission in here, and I forget what it is.
Why did you do that?
Because it's a sea drake.
Captain coming aboard. Boats prepped and ready.
Father, you had me so worried. What happened? Where's your boat?
None of that now, my Nevis Cup. I'll tell you all about it. But first, there's one more thing we need to see to. Come, friends. It's time we commit our memories to the drink.
He washes up here after being gone for weeks, his boat nowhere in sight, and he acts like it's just another day on the sea. Was everything all right? Did he cause you any trouble? Oh, he put you up to that, didn't he? Papa always loves to embellish his journeys. Whatever the truth is, I'm just glad you brought him home safe. He's not fooling me. I can tell something happened. Father's putting on a brave face, like he used to whenever I'd ask him about his younger days. He'd smile and deflect the question, but I could see a sadness in his eyes he couldn't hide. The fanciful story of meeting my mother, a myth about how the moon and stars winked on the day of my birth, and tall tales about his fishing voyages. Before that, not a word. Not once. I don't think I'll ever get the truth out of him. You're serious? So what you said about the sea elves attacking, it was all true? What's he hiding? Was he a pirate? I always wondered if he didn't. Why would he hide that? I'm sorry, I have so many questions and it's not you who has the answers. I'll leave my father to the company of his friends for now, but when he's ready to come home, he can't leave his other life behind this time.
That could be helpful.
I actually need to ask her about Windbane, I think.
He's not fooling me. Oh, yes. She and Carterell have been together for years. She used to look after me when I was younger. While Father and the others were off. I imagine she'll be with Father and the others, waiting to see Carterell when she arrives.
Okay, well... we'll head on down that way. I believe our next stop is Eleanor, yes.
Never get tired of that sound.
Where Bayano?
1,000. Battle Reeve Tanalina request your presence at the Royal Palace. There is a situation developing and you have come highly recommended, or so we have been led to believe. There are eager ears everywhere, so keep your voice low. The situation involves Sea Slode. The Battle Reeve has been informed that you dispatched one of the foul creatures. I find that I can tell you that the...
Okay, welcome to Eleanor, folks. Let's see, what we have. We have a few minutes left. I can't read that. Okay. Well, we are out of time for today's episode, actually, so we will go ahead and call it here and return. When we come back next time, we'll head up to the castle. Until then, I'm Rambling Rusty Elm. Have a good night, and don't forget to stop and smell the roses.